Happy Saturday, happy college football day, my friends. The game is called Saturday Legends. The website is right here, SaturdayLegends.com. You get, with the purchase of an introductory pack, all of these 10 teams with the instructions and all of your game parts. It's a wonderful college football game. It's my favorite college football game, and I think it's worth checking out. I have an unboxing video on my channel for Saturday Legends Football. I also have a demo. This is the second demo. I'm going to be doing a quarter of play for a matchup between two teams for Saturday Legends right now, but I'm also, while I do that, I'm going to be going through a sort of how to play at the same time tutorial to show you how the game works so that you get a sense of what you're getting if you decide to purchase, and you get a discount. All of the ordering information is in the description for this video, but if you use my name, Kurt Berg, I know it's not Bergland, but if you use Kurt Berg, and I spelled it for you in the description for the video, you get a discount on your first order of the game, so it pays to load up your shopping cart. This is Saturday Legends Football, and thank you for joining me. Let's talk about the setup that I have here for the game and what you need to be able to play Saturday Legends. So let's start that now. With your order for the game, you get two, pads of paper that are needed to make the game work. One is a play scratch-off sheet. I'm going to show you how that works in just a moment. And you also get a scoreboard. The scoreboard is necessary also, obviously, to keep track of your points, your final score, the timeouts that are used by each team in each half. You can use it to keep track of your downs during the game. And this is also your timing score sheet. The play scratch-off sheet reveals the plays that are available to you. There are 6 offensive plays, and there are 6 defensive plays as well. So let's take a look at what the team sheets look like. There's a front side to each team sheet. This is the offense. There is a defensive side as well, and you will consult both as you work through a game. Now, the stats for each team are listed. So, for example, these are the points per game. The 1966 Crimson Tide scored 23.8 points a game, and they allowed 4 points per game. Their strength of schedule is ranked as well, and we're going to talk about how that's important, and there's other information for the game that's needed as well. I love the white space. I'm taking advantage of the white space to write in some names and stats of the teams that I have. There's plenty of white space to be able to do that. I've got my quarterbacks up here, my running quarterbacks and running backs listed there, and then I've got my receivers down here to keep track of as well. So we know that the 66 Alabama Crimson Tide are going to be one of the teams that we're using in today's game. The other team is the 1972 USC Trojans. So same deal. I'm using the white space for some statistical information here, but the layout is the same. You've got offense and you've got defense, and you've even got, for each team, it's listed here, and this is important because you're constrained a little bit in the game by the ratio of runs to passes that existed in their real-life statistical performance. Also, for Saturday Legends, you have a few extra charts, not too many, to consult. Most of the work of the game is done on the team charts. All right. Now, as a homebrew rule, or a homebrew development, I guess you would say, I've developed a very, very simplistic solitaire defense selector. I'm going to run the offense on both teams. So it's a very simplistic tool, but I've got my down and distance here across the top, and then I've got my D6 roll right there, and that will be what determines the opposing defense that I will be facing for each offensive play. I'm going to use this red die to determine to be the D6. All right, and then so you see the down and distance here. I've also got a 2-minute defense here, and I've got a short yardage / goal line defense. The key here are the 6 different defenses that the simulation offers. They are also put onto play cards in case you want to use those, or in case you are playing against an opponent sitting in front of you. The 6 offensive play cards are given to you in the game as well. All right. So if you'd like a copy of this, just send me an email at berglund.kurt@yahoo.com. I'll put that in the description for the video. I'd be happy to send this to you. It will change several times, I'm sure, over the next few weeks and months. The work of the simulation is done right here. It's on this field, and we have our yardage marker here and our first down marker. We have timing instructions right on the playboard. We also have a penalty roll. For the game, you use a D12, a D20, and a D24. And the D20 helps to determine if a penalty has occurred, among other things. There are coaching points in the game, and we'll talk about those, but the coaching points for each team are going to work as follows. Alabama is going to be the home team in this game. 1972 USC will be the visiting team. And so their play charts are adjusted as follows. If you look, and I'm looking only at the offensive charts at this moment. For 1972 Southern Cal, 17 runs to 7 passes. So you block off on your play scratch-off sheet, you block off numbers 18 to 24 because you can't use them until the play sheet is full. The exception is a 3rd down or a 4th down need for a pass. You can exceed your passes if that turns out to be needed. Here are your 7, it doesn't look like it, but I've got 7 pass plays per option here. So you have 17 for each run, 7 for each pass, and that's what this sheet means here. On the reverse of the play scratch-off sheet, I've got Alabama. Alabama's numbers look like this. They are 18 runs to 6 passes, so you can see I've blocked off 19 to 24 and 7 to 24 on the passes. Now, the coaching points are a fun part of the game. Each team starts with 5 coaching points. The team with the larger strength of schedule adds the difference to the 2 strength of schedules to their 5 points. So, a couple of things here. We look at strength of schedule. For Southern Cal, it's 540. They get 540 strength of schedule points. For Alabama, it's 534. So each team starts with 5. USC had a tougher schedule, so we take their 5. The difference between 540 and 534 is 6, so we take their 5 and we add 6, and they have 11 coaching points to spend. This can change strategy during the game. for Alabama, they get their 5 points to start the game with, but they get a 3-point bonus for being the home team. And that is what you need to have an understanding of the basics of Saturday Legends. All right, so we're going to get going without any further ado. And I'm going to bring in the play scratch-off sheets and the scoreboard every so often so you can see kind of how things are progressing. But I want to show you how the play scratch-off sheet works as we go. All right, so the kickoffs, and that's where we're going to start in just a moment. The kickoffs are a D20 minus 8. Okay, that tells you the line of scrim, or the yard line that it goes to. Okay, so we're going to start there. But first, we need to decide who's going to get the ball. Now, the visiting team is the Trojans. So I'm just going to roll this, I don't know, I'll roll this D12. And the Trojans are going to pick an odd number. If it's odd, the Trojans are going to get to choose what they want. It's even, so Alabama gets to choose. So I'm going to have Alabama receive the kickoff. So Alabama, Crimson Tide will receive the kickoff. All right. So here we go. We're going to roll all of our dice because there could be a penalty on the kickoff, just as there could be on any of the plays, and get our game rolling. First thing we'll do is to roll for a penalty. It's a 16, which means there is no penalty if we consult the chart. So there's no penalty on the kickoff. All right. The next thing we do is to roll again. The kicking team is rolling, so it's USC kicking. And I rolled a 12. So you subtract 8 from the D12, and you find that the kickoff went to the 4-yard line of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now the receiving team rolls the D20. If I had rolled a 19 or 20, it would go to a special chart, but I did not do that. So the return is a D20 plus 10 yards. So the return is 17 yards. That goes out to the Alabama 21, where they will set up shop 1st and 10. Now, you are wondering, okay, how does the timing work? Well, we look on our game timing chart, which is put right here on the field, very handy for you. And our kickoffs are 10 seconds. Return kickoffs, which we just had, is a 10-second runoff. The blocks on the scoreboard are in 10-second increments. So I marked off one box for the first quarter, and we're down to 14 minutes and 50 seconds left in our first quarter of play. Now, for the scratch-off sheet, I am using the Alabama side of the scratch-off sheet. I'm calling Alabama's offensive plays. And I have the charts set up so that I have Alabama's offense up and Southern California's defense up, because we're going to have to put both of those numbers together. And I'll show you how that works in just a moment. But first, let's do the play call. I'm going to choose an inside run for the Crimson Tide. We're going to say their big fullback, Les Kelly, is going to do an inside run. So now I need to figure out, okay, first of all, I'm going to scratch off an inside run play right there. Oh, first I have to roll. That would be good. I have a D24. We're going to scratch off an inside run play. How do we do that? Well, we rolled a 12 on the D24, so I'm going to scratch off the 12, and that number can't come up again. Now, that's important because it refers us to the Alabama chart. Now, I'm going to use the D6. We have a 1st and 10. I'm going to use our red D6 to determine the defense that's called by USC, and it's PB. It's a pass blitz. So this is what, if we were using the cards religiously, this is the defense that would be called a pass blitz. So now when we roll, we have to compare an inside run with a pass blitz. We're on the Alabama 21. Here's the Southern California, so we have a pass blitz. We know that we're going to look at an inside run. Here's our pass blitz list, and here's our inside run. Now, we have to roll our D12 to cross off a pass blitz outcome. Try that again. We have to cross off a pass blitz outcome for the Crimson or for USC, and we'll take that. And that's important because it tells us that we're going to look at number 12 on Alabama's run inside, and we're going to look at the 4 on the pass blitz for USC. Then we're going to compare those. But before we do that, let's see if we have a penalty. So we're going to roll our D20. Rolled a 16, that's nothing. There is no penalty on the play. Okay, so with 1st and 10, here we go. This is our run inside. We have our pass blitz, and we know we rolled a 12, and that will be right across there. So we have a pass blitz, and that's a 12, and I'm not sure how well you can see that, but that is a gain of 0 yards. But we're not done there. We have to look on the USC defense chart. Run inside, we rolled a 4, and that's a -1. So we add the 0 and the -1, and they stuffed our good friend Les Kelly for a loss of 1. That moves Alabama back to the 20-yard line. And it runs off some time on the clock. 30 seconds for running plays and completed passes inbounds that are not first downs. So on the scoreboard, in the 10-second increments, I'm marking off 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3. We're down to 14:20 left in the first quarter. All right, just that easy. So it's 2nd and 11 now for the Crimson Tide. Here comes Ken Stabler leading him out of the huddle. We're going to, we'll try a run outside now. So we're going to roll our D24. We rolled a 17. And we're going to roll our we have to bring our selector out again. 2nd and 6 or more brings us to this column. I rolled a 6, which is M. That's man-to-man defense. So that will be man-to-man. We look at the man-to-man column and we roll our D12, and it's a 9. We cross off the 9. So we have a outside run of 17 and a man-to-man defense of 9. Let's see how this turns out. Starting with, we'll say Kenny Stabler's rolling out on the wishbone. So we have an outside run of 17 against the man-to-man defense. So we're right here. Again, I'm hopeful that you can see this. It is a 6 on this chart. So it's possibly a gain of 6, but now we have to look at the man-to-man defense of 9 against the run outside, and that's a -3. So it's going to be a pickup of 3 yards. Oh, we didn't roll for the penalty. We have to do that. 13, no penalty. So it's a pickup of 3 for Stabler and the Crimson Tide, and that's going to bring us to a 3rd down and 8. We're checking off the time on the play clock, so we're down to 13 minutes and 50 seconds in the first quarter, and it's 3rd and 8 on the Alabama 22. Excuse me, on the Alabama 23. All right, so we're going to have to go to the air now. We're going to have a rollout pass, which is consistent, of course, with the concept of the wishbone offense that Bear Bryant ran. So we'll see if that is a strength that we can call on. We'll pull out, now that we know we're doing a rollout pass, we're going to pull out our solitaire play selector. We have 3rd and 4 or more, and it's PB, which is a pass blitz. We'll roll our dice. We have a rollout, and our 24 is a 10. Now you might say to yourself, okay, well, it's a 10. You've blocked that out, Kurt. What is that? What do we do now? Well, what you do when you've rolled a number that's here is you go to the top number, or the closest to the top number that you can get, and check that box. So you have a rollout of 1 here, and we have a pass blitz play. We're going to roll our D12. And that's a 9. Doesn't really matter here. I'm just keeping track of these for the rolls. But you can use these defenses as much as are called for. All right, so we have a roll of a 9 for a pass blitz and a 1 for the rollout. So let's see how this works. The rollout on the offense for Kenny Stabler against the pass blitz is a gain of 13 yards. Okay. Now we look at the Southern California pass blitz against the rollout, and our roll was 9. And it's incomplete. Now the incompletes trump everything else but a big play. We'll look at those later. But the incomplete pass is going to bring up a 4th down for the Crimson Tide. Now in our timing, incomplete passes take 10 seconds, so I marked off 1 box. We're down to 13 minutes and 40 seconds in the first quarter. So it's a 3 and out for the Crimson Tide on their first drive of the game. Okay, so to punt, which is what we're going to do now. We're on the Alabama 23. We're going to punt to the Trojans. On the process for a punt, each team has a rating here. So Alabama's is -5 to the punt. And Southern California gets +1 yard added to the punt return. So we're going to keep that in mind. But there is a punt chart here, and we're going to roll 2 dice. We're going to roll the penalty die as well as a D20. We're going to roll penalty die first. We have a receiving penalty that we'll have to look for, and we have a 13, which is a 45-yard punt. So we are going to subtract 5 because that is our Alabama rating. So this knocks it back to a 40-yard punt. For a punt return, we're going to roll our D20. And we have a 7-yard return +1 makes 8. So we have a net of 32. We have a net of 32 on the punt. Now, we have a penalty. We have our first penalty. There is a penalty chart. Oh, I'm sorry. I rolled a 19, I believe. Oh, no, I didn't. I rolled a 20. Okay, so we're good. If I had rolled a 19, the punt would have gone out of bounds, but I didn't do that. So we are good. All right, now we'll look at the penalty chart. And here's our receiving team penalty. 12, holding 10 yards on the return. And so we're going to move them back 10 yards. So that'll be a net of 42. So we go from the 23 to 10, 20, 30, 40. So we land at the 35 of the Trojans. Now for timing, a play with a penalty is 20 seconds. I'm sorry, we had a 10-second for punts. So we're going to call that 10 seconds. We're down to 13 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter, and it's 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Now, we flip our chart. So we have the USC offensive chart and the Alabama defensive chart, and we're ready to roll. 1st and 10. The big man for the Trojans, well, it looks like they had a little bit of a quarterback issue. Maybe somebody watching knows more about this, but Mike Ray, 57%, but threw 12 picks. Pat Hayden had some work too. Actually threw more touchdowns than Mike Ray did, but Mike Ray had more attempts. So we're going to start with saying Mike Ray is our quarterback, but Anthony Davis got the bulk of the work. Rod McNeil, I think, eventually became a Jet, maybe? I'm not sure. I don't remember. Sam Cunningham, of course, became a Patriot. Anthony Davis was a Buccaneer later on in his career. Anthony Davis is going to get the call. We're going to run outside with Anthony Davis on this 1st and 10 play. So first, let's see what the defense is for the Crimson Tide, which the defense was really their bread and butter on this team. 1st and 10 PB, so we're going to call that a pass blitz. And an outside run for Anthony Davis. I'm putting all of this for the play scratch-off sheet on the same sheet so that I'm just flipping it here. So we're going to roll first the D24 to see what number we're going to look at for Anthony Davis. We rolled a 3, so that's going to be checked off here on the run outside. And now we're going to roll our D12 for the Alabama pass blitz number, and that'll be a 5. We check that off. So we have a 3 on the outside run. Let's look there first. For Anthony Davis, that's going to be a 9-yard gain. But wait, we have to check and see what the pass blitz number will be. We rolled a 5 on the pass blitz for an outside run. That is a -4. So that's going to be a net of 5 yards. Let's see if there was a penalty on the play. A 6, and there was not. So we get 5 yards for the for the Trojans. On 1st and 10, we're going to have a 2nd and 5 from their 40. And since it was a successful running play, we're going to check off 30 seconds on the box. So it's 2nd and 5. And there's 13 minutes left in the first quarter. Now, we're going to get a little bit adventurous. And we're going to have Mike Ray drop back. So it's going to be a drop back call for USC. Now, they only have 6 drop back opportunities, so we're taking a little bit of a risk here, but why not? I rolled a 20. Now, we remember that when we do that, we roll a number that's off the grid here. We go up to the top. We check off our drop back number. And now we're going to roll our D12. And, oh, I'm sorry, we're going to roll our D6 to determine our defense for Alabama. It's a 4. We have 2nd and 5 or less, which is where we are. And it's a pass blitz again. Defenses are playing aggressively today. So we roll our D12 for the pass blitz, and we get a 1. So we get a 1 for the drop back and a 1 for the pass blitz. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. All right, Southern California. Drop back is a 1 on the pass blitz. We have a defensive big play. We have a defensive big play. Let's see what we have on the drop back. We have an incompletion. Now the big play trumps the incompletion. So what is a big play? All right. The next step is to determine what kind of big play we have. Now we have a pass play was called. I was calling a drop back for the USC team. So we roll a D20. If I roll a 1 to 10, we have a sack potential big play. If I roll an 11 to 20, we have an interception potential big play. So we roll our D20. And I rolled a 7, so we have a sack potentially big play. So we pull out our chart. We have a sack here with the possibility of a fumble on 19 or 20. Roll our D20 one more time. And we have an 8. It is a -6 on the sack. A -6 on the sack. That will move USC back to their 34 and bring up a 3rd and 11 play call coming up. "20 seconds come off the clock for a sack. And that is our defensive big play. Now, you can have an offensive big play in Saturday Legends as well, and the rules are a little bit different for that, but basically you're doing the same thing. That'll change based on if it's a run. You'll be looking at a separate chart, basically, is what you're going to be doing. So I think I rolled for the penalty. We're going to say that I did. Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. So on a roll of 1 to 10, the play outcome will either be when a defensive play, big play happens, roll the D20 again. I rolled a 7, so the play outcome will be either a 0-yard run on running plays or incomplete pass on passing plays. Okay, so it's an incomplete pass, so it's 3rd and 5. My bad. Still learning. All right, and now we have, I'll have to adjust the timing. We'll go to 10 seconds now, so 12 minutes and 50 seconds left in the quarter. All right, so it's 3rd and 5. And I'm going to give it to Anthony Davis again for an outside run. Let's see what the defensive selection is. It's 3rd and 4 or more. Pass blitz. Outside run. Pull our scratch off sheet here. We roll our D24, another outside run. We rolled a 15. That can be accommodated on the chart with no trouble. We have a pass blitz roll, so we take our D12. It's an 8. Scratch that off. So we have an 8 for a pass blitz and a 15 for an outside run. Outside run is a 15. Down to the pass blitz is a 9-yard gain. We look at the pass blitz here of a of an 8 against the outside run is a -2, so it's a net gain of 7. Let's see if there was a penalty on the play. It's a 19 offensive audible, which we're not going to do. Oh, I should have rolled that first. We don't need it, so it's going to be a first down for USC. I don't think I would have changed the play anyway. Gain of 7, 1st and 10. Now in college football, of course, the clock stops. So first down plays are limited to 20 seconds, so we're down to 12 minutes and 30 seconds in the first quarter. 1st and 10 USC. Gonna try an inside run with them now. Inside run. Defense will be a 1, and that's going to be a run blitz. An inside run. Okay, against a run blitz, we rolled a 12. Check that off. The inside run is a 1. So a 12 on the run inside and a 1 on the defense. I'm sorry, an inside run. I put, should be a run blitz. Okay, now we're going to roll for the penalty because I'm getting lazy about doing that. Penalty roll is the D20. It's an 11, out of bounds, so he's going to run out of bounds. That's going to affect timing. The inside run is a 12 against the run blitz. Oh, looking at the wrong team. No, I'm not. Inside run is a 12 against the run blitz, and they gained 11 yards. Now the run blitz for the inside run is a 1, and that's 1 yard. So we add those two numbers together. Yeah, and we get 12 yards. So it's another first down for Alabama. We're cruising to the 46. I'm sorry, a first down for the Trojans. We're cruising to the 46 of Alabama. We mark off 30 seconds off the, or 20 seconds, sorry, off the clock because it was a first down play. We're down to 12 minutes and 10 seconds left in the quarter. So that was fun. So we're going to do it one more time. We're going to do an inside run. Check the defense. It's a 6. Man-to-man defense and an inside run. So we look at our scratch-off sheet. We roll an 18, so we have to bring it back up to the 1 because the 18's been blocked off. So it's going to be an inside run against man-to-man defense. Our man-to-man defense number will be an 11. And let's see how they match up. And let's do the penalty roll. 15, special. Special. For the special, we re-roll the D20. You get a 10. Out of bounds of non-kicking play or incomplete pass. All right, so we're doing a run, so it's going to be out of bounds. So we know that. That'll affect timing, but really nothing else. So we're doing an inside run. We have a 1 on the man-to-man defense. So Man-to-man defense. Oh, I'm sorry. Got to look at the offense. Inside run of 1. Man-to-man defense is going to be a gain of 9. Let's look at the inside run. It's a minus. Wait a minute. I rolled an 11 on the man-to-man. It's a minus 4. So it's going to be a net gain of 5. 2nd and 5. And he runs out of bounds. So running out of bounds makes it a 10-second play. So it'll be 2nd and 5, and there's 12 minutes left in the quarter. And I'm going to call a draw play here. 2nd and 5. Do the D24. It's a 23, so we come back up to the number 1. And we're going to roll our D12 to see, oh, I'm sorry, we have to roll our D6 to do the defense. Here's our defensive grid. Roll a 5. 2nd and 5 or less. It's man-to-man defense. So we have a draw play with man-to-man defense. Roll our D12. It's a 4. So we'll cross off the 4. So we have a man-to-man 4 and a draw 1. Draw play, man-to-man. That's an 8-yard gain. And the draw here is a minus 2, so it's going to be a gain of 6. USC marching right through Alabama for another first down. That will stop the clock after 20 seconds have expired. So we're down to 11:40 in the first quarter, and the Trojans are on the move. It is 1st and 10 on the Alabama 35. That vaunted Alabama defense is not getting the job done yet. All right, we're going to go back to the outside run. We'll go back to the outside run. I may have forgotten to roll for a penalty there, but I don't remember. 1st and 10, run blitz. Outside run. Do our play chart. It's a 17. Check that off. D12. Is a run blitz. So that's a 10. So it's a, what did I mark? I don't remember what I marked. We're going to re-roll the D24. 19, we're coming back up to the top. So it's an outside run for 1 and a run blitz for 10. Outside run for 1. Run blitz, 5-yard gain. Outside run. Minus, what is that, 6. No, minus, my wrong chart. Minus 8. Yeah, I got a 10 on the run blitz for an outside run. We have a defensive big play. All right, so that overrides the offensive outcome. We have a running play, so we don't need to roll the D10 again. And we're going to see what kind of defensive big play it's going to be. 1-17 tackled for loss, 18-20 is a fumble. Roll the D20, it's a 1, so it's tackled for loss. that's going to be our big play. Here's our tackle for loss column. If we roll a 19 or 20, there's a fumble. Loss of 2 on the big play. So it's 2nd and 10. The run blitz stuffs the outside run for a loss of 2. We take 30 seconds off the clock and we're down to 11:10 left in the quarter. It's 2nd and 12 for Alabama. For the USC Trojans. So it seems like a good time to call a draw play. We'll do that. We roll a 19. So our draw play goes back up here. Now, we block that off. 1 is taken, so we use our number 2 draw play. Our defense will be a 3. Second and 6 or more, it's going to be a zone. So it's going to be a draw play against a zone. The zone number will be a 3. So it's going to be a draw 2 and a zone 3. Draw 2 against the zone is a 5-yard gain. Zone 3 against a draw is a 2-yard loss. So it's a net of +3. It's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Trojans. Don't think I rolled for a penalty. Let's do that. It's a 13. That's nothing. 1, 2, 3. We're down to 10:40 left in the first quarter. 3rd and 9. So he's going to drop back. We're going to have Mike Ray try and throw the ball, and hopefully to someone wearing his same colored jersey, which would be white, I guess. 16, so we'll do a drop back. 16's been scratched off, so we'll do a 2, drop back 2. And it's a 3, 3rd and 4 or more, so it's a pass blitz. Here comes the Crimson Tide. The pass blitz number is a 2. Now we check for the penalty. 13, there is no penalty. So the pass blitz is a 2. And the drop back is a 2. Drop back is here. It's going to be a, pass blitz. It's going to be a gain of 9. But we got to check the defense. -9. So it's a net of 0. No first down. It's not incomplete. It's a net of 0. So we're going to mark 30 seconds off the clock. And it's going to be time to punt. At the 10-minute and 10-second mark of the quarter, 34-yard line, which would make it a 51-yard kick. So that not going to happen. So they're going to punt to the Trojans. So here, or to the Crimson Tide. So here we go with our punt. Now our punt modifiers. We have a punt change of -7. Punt return defense, I think I missed that before, is a -4. And then we have the punt return for the Crimson Tide of -1. So let's see how these adjust. Here's our punt chart. First, let's see if there's a penalty. There is not a penalty. Now we roll for the punt. It's a 20. It's a punt special. So we look at the punt special. We re-roll our D20 is a 1. The punt is blocked. -10 plus a D20 from the line of scrimmage. Check the fumble recovery. So a -10 plus a D20 from the line of scrimmage is a 19. So it's a disaster for the Trojans. We go from the 34. (16) to the 47. Now we check the fumble recovery chart. It is right here. It doesn't really matter too much. 18. Defense recovers. And they are going to return it. For 17 more yards. What I don't know is if you can advance a blocked punt in college football, but we're going to say you can. That gets it all the way down to the 30. And it's 1st and 10 Crimson Tide. That will mark 10 seconds off the clock, but it seems like there should be more, but I'm going to stay literal. 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Okay. So we have played 5 minutes in the first quarter. We have no score, and the Alabama Crimson Tide are on the Trojan 30. Good spot to take a break. We're going to be back with part 2 of the first quarter of our demo, kind of walking you through Saturday Legends. Don't forget the ordering information in the description for the video, SaturdayLegends.com. Don't forget to use my discount code KurtBerg when you check out. And you can get 15%, so load up the cart. Get your Saturday Legends ready to go. I hope this has been helpful, and we'll be back with part 2 of the video coming up very soon. Thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I need your support to keep my channel going. Thank you, my friends. Have a wonderful day. So long, everybody.